Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing my makeup and I'm going to be doing a talk through because I feel like that's easier. But I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Palette, the original one. It is not available for retail anymore. However, the individual shades are still there, part of Urban Decay's single eyeshadow collection. But I am going to prime my eyes with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I was fussing with my eye just a little bit because it was kind of annoying me. And so I decided to take care of it before I started my makeup. And I like to use concealer to prime. I don't really think you need a primer. Concealer works just fine for me, so you know what? Do whatever makes you feel better and comfortable. If you don't want to go in with concealer, go in with a primer, go in with a paint pot, go in with something tacky and sticky on your base so that way you can make sure the eyeshadow sticks the entire time. Also, I always have laundry and I'm sorry about that, but I'm trying to like adjust the camera setting right now so that way you guys don't get distracted by the laundry. And I am now going to set my eyelids with the Coty Air Spun powder, and I was kind of drying it off because my beauty blender was a bit too damp and some of the water was still on my face. So I'm setting that, and we'll wait and see what I do next. Well, I put the brush back next, that's what I do. And then I look for my Sigma E45 fluffy blending brush, and I go in with the shade Buck, which is kind of like a mid-tone taupey color. It is by no means a warm color. It is a very cool color, neutral cool color. It does pull cool on me. And I don't necessarily mind it because I wasn't going for like a warm or cool tone look. I was just going for a transition color that was in the palette already. So it is a good color. If you are fair, this could work as a like outer corner crease color because it is dark. For me, it works fine as a transition shade. And you want to put a transition shade to sort of define your eye. You'll see me go in with MAC Soft Brown soon, but you want to put in that transition shade so that way you guys can, or you can give something some sort of a dimension, definition, and it also helps the other shades that you put down blend a lot smoother. So I recommend going in with a transition shade. I was wiping off a little bit of the dampness from the beauty blender, and I go in with MAC Soft Brown, which is what I'm showing you guys there. That is a more rosy color, and it kind of counterbalanced the um, Buck shade that I put on because Buck was a bit too taupe and warm, like the soft brown had that little bit of warmth in it that I need. So that is why I went in with soft brown. You don't need to use two transition colors. If you have something like soft brown, there are many alternatives. If you don't support MAC as a company, and you don't want to purchase from them, that's fine. There are other alternatives, and I'm trying to think of a couple of them off the top of my head, but I can't really right now. I know Topaz in the Kylie eyeshadow palette is a good one. So now I'm going to go in with a mixture of Half Baked and Smog. Those are my favorite colors, and I especially love them mixed, and I'm going in with a flat definer brush by Sigma. I forget the letter numbering of it, so I'm basically mixing it. And what you see me do is pull my eyelid taut, and the reason I do that, I don't do it right now in this particular clip. The reason I do that is because I don't have Fix Plus, so I don't have like the insurance of it being all metallic-y and shiny and not budging. So to make sure the pigments are really pressed in on there, I do pull my eyelid taut so the real true color and vibrance of the shadows peeks through. Um, do as I say, not as I do. Don't pull your eyelid taut. If you pull your eyelid taut, you will end up with like fine lines and wrinkles like premature, and you really do not want to do that. So what I do first though is nestle the product onto the eyelid. And the advantage of doing your eyes first over doing your foundation and concealer, like under eye concealer first, is that you'll see me go and wipe off any fallout. And that's good because if you were to put your concealer or foundation on, it would have been a lot more difficult for you to wipe off the fallout without leaving any, residue behind. Um, so now I'm going in with bronzite, I think, or yeah, bronzite in the Kylie eyeshadow palette that I have. Is it the bronze eyeshadow palette? Listen, I can't be bothered to remember the names. I'm going in with the Sigma E35 taper blending brush. I didn't go in with the E25, which is a smaller, more fat, denser brush. And it's shorter too because I didn't need that much definition. I kind of wanted it to be blown out and smoky. Again, I'm not looking to do anything so drastic. I just wanted it to be smoky but blown out, kind of daytime appropriate. And I go in with a Kylie brush, which is, I didn't purchase it. It kind of came with her peach palette that I got a while back, and I use it. That's one of the brushes that I do like, is I actually use it to blend out anything that may have harsh lines because it doesn't have any product on it. I don't use it as a blending brush. I use it as a blender buffer brush, if that makes any kind of sense. And I'm sorry that you guys can't see that the brown is like pigmented in there, but I promise you, like in the final look and result, it's there and it's here to stay. So today I actually decided to do something a little bit different with my eyeliner. I wanted to do brown eyeliner. I think that brown eyeliner with brown eyes goes really well. It complements the eye shape and look, and it works, kind of like on my skin tone. I'm going in with MAC Costa Riche. This is one of the eyeliners that I will purchase again. I think this is my second one of it anyways. But you won't see it on this eye. You'll see it on the other one. But basically, I'm going all the way in. And then I'm going to create a wing with a pencil. And that's actually easy and quick compared to using a gel eyeliner. However, for beginners, I do not recommend that you guys go in with a pencil unless it's to do a straight line, because you don't know how much pressure you have to put, and everyone is different. Makeup is different for everyone, and the amount of pressure that you have, like when you put your eyeliner on, may be different compared to like what I do. So as you can see here, I am mapping out a line, which is a diagonal, and I'm slowly tracing in that triangular cat eye flick shade, essentially. Shape, sorry, essentially. And I am pulling my eyelid taut because, again, I want to make sure to get into the depths and roots of my lashes. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it does, in this clip, sort of define how it looks. And it kind of looks a little messy and very unkept and not put together, but I promise you it will come together. So now I'm going in to do the rest of my base, which is basically, you guys have seen me do this multiple times. I go in with the Fenty Shade Stick and Truffle, and I use my Sigma angled contour brush to buff it out. I had a little bit of like blue eyeshadow that was touching like the base of the contour brush. It didn't affect how my contour went on anyways, but that was my face of like what the heck was on there. And I did want my hair down. One thing I've been trying to do, is such a random side note, but like one thing that I've been trying to do with my hair is not put it up as much, because I wonder, like, and I'm adjusting my chair, but I want to like decrease the amount of breakage I have especially at the top of my hair. So I've been trying to keep it down, and now I'm taking just like clean, big old fluffy brush like you guys have seen before in my other tutorials, and I'm wiping out the fallout. I also wanted to make note of the fact that I do not use a primer. I'm not going in with the concealer in shade 6 to highlight underneath my eyes. But I do not use a primer. Primers are pore clogging, and I don't need my pores to get clogged. And plus, my makeup looks just fine throughout the entire day without me wearing a primer. So I'm not going to buy something that I know for sure that I'm not going to invest into. There are a couple of primers that I do recommend. And if you guys are on the more like you want your makeup to look a little bit more dewy, then I would say go in with Fix Plus at the end or even before, and just use that. Fix Plus doesn't necessarily claim to hold your makeup on for the entire day, but another good primer that I did try and I do recommend is the Makeup Forever Step 1, and I use the smoothing primer because that just, especially over your nose, like it just works really, really well, and it actually does one of the things that a primer is supposed to do. And you guys can see that I'm excited to use my Rare Beauty foundation now that the concealer is all blended out, but I'm shaking it vigorously because it has that little ball at the end to help mix the pigments up because it is a liquid foundation. And what I did was I put it on, you couldn't see this, but I put it on like my vanity so that way if I needed more of it, I could just go back in with a doe foot applicator. I am going in with like the round end of the beauty blender. I do not like using like the butt end. I don't like using that term. That's just weird. It's like, it's not a butt, you know? Like, no, it's not a butt. But yeah, I always start off with my cheeks because I feel like that is the area that has and slash needs a little bit more coverage. And a trick that I want you guys to like kind of pick up and see is that I am mixing my foundation in with that concealer that I brought down a little bit onto my cheekbones because that is what's going to give you a natural look. And it's not going to make it look like that stark white highlight underneath or, you know, just make you look very dimensionally uneven. We do not want to be dimensionally uneven. That is why we are doing makeup, to be even. But yes, so you see me going in, I'm pulling at all of my roots and I'm going back in. I know this is an awkward shot, but like I'm going back in underneath my eyes because you really want to make sure that like your concealer and foundation mixture are not settling in those fine lines. Note that I did not put like foundation underneath my eyes. I just blended it with the concealer that was already there. And I'm now closing up the Rare Beauty foundation because it's done. And I'm kind of upset because I got the foundation from like my beauty blender onto the cap of the Rare Beauty one. So I was like, I'm really sad. Not really, it goes away though real quickly. But I'm going in with my lips now, and I am using Kylie Jenner Ginger. And before I do that, I'm setting my under eyes with the Coty Airspun powder. I use a good to generous amount. I don't overload with powder. Here's the thing. I do not like baking, and I will explain why I don't subscribe to baking. The reason is because when you bake, one, it's a wastage of powder. Two, I'm an average woman and I don't need to worry about my minimal concealer going in everywhere. Um, it's not moving. If you use the right concealer and you set your concealer immediately after you put on your like foundation, concealer, whatever you're doing underneath your eyes, you're not going to get that flexibility for your under eyes to settle. And I did try baking, but I will link his video down below. It was Robert MUA, or Robert Walsh MUA, but he's a pro makeup artist and he also does not do baking and he explains it a lot better than I'm doing. But basically, when I did bake, I could see that there was such a visible crepiness and cakiness under my eyes. So, and I even did it the proper way, like with the wet sponge and everything. So, and I used the proper baking powders and all of that. But I really like this color on my lips, you guys. I especially like it for the fall. It's one of those perfect nudes. And there was like one like weird gunky like goopy thing on there from the lipstick. So I was like, all right, let me just take that out and put it somewhere where it's not in the lipstick cap. But and you guys can't tell, but actually I made a mess of my lipsticks, or the lipstick thingy fell. But I'm not curling my eyelashes. But yeah, so going back to the whole baking thing, I don't subscribe to it because it made my under eyes and everything else look super cakey, and I just preferred how natural my under eyes looked when I set them immediately after, or like within 5 minutes of applying concealer after, because let's be honest, that's how they're going to end up looking anyways. I am going in with my KKW Beauty Mascara. By the way, if you guys have questions about what my lash curler is, I honestly got it for really cheap at Sephora. It was like $6 or something, and I think it was a Sephora brand one. But you can literally buy a eyelash curler everywhere, and I promise you, they're not as intimidating as they look. They really are not. You're not going to rip out your lashes. You just have to be a little bit careful. And I take my time with my mascara, and I'm smiling at the camera because I realize that like I have that regular face that it's not a resting bitch face, but it's like I look like I'm thinking all the time when I'm really not. I'm just like staring somewhere. I'm not even lost in thought. But yeah, I am taking time with my lashes. As you guys know, I do not use false eyelashes. So, yeah. I will also say investing into a good mascara is just as like having a good pair of jeans. Like you want to have a good mascara because you want your lashes to hold a curl, you want your lashes to be separated and voluminous, but not chunky and clunky. I'm going in with my Tarte Party blush. I will forever say it's Partey because that just sounds better. But alas, that is not the proper name of it. I did not contour or use my bronzer on my cheeks. I went in with a slight amount, like a very slight amount, like just towards like the outer perimeter of my face at the end. You guys do see me doing that, but I was not interested in doing that. I am using NARS Albatross to highlight. I just didn't think that an excessive contour would go well with this look, as it was already a little bit on the softer side and kind of the eyes were played up just a little bit. Listen, NARS Albatross is my favorite highlight, especially for fall and winter. You guys, have heard me say this like multiple times. I literally went into gibberish because I just am stunned by how beautiful the highlight is. And yeah, a little goes a long way, but a lot is better. I did go back in because my face eats makeup like chomp chomp, Cookie Monster. I have like a makeup monster on my face. My face will legit eat up makeup. So I did go in with a little bit more than I would normally, and then my camera moved over, so woohoo. But I am putting back my nose ring in. I found it. It was literally on the floor. Like it was a couple of chit chat get ready with me videos ago, where I was literally like, I'm gonna close out this video because I'm freaking out that I can't find my nose ring. Listen, I have a sentimental attachment to it, and I do not apologize for it. I am going with Becca Impanema Sun bronzer. The reason why I go with bronzer on top of my foundation is because I've already contoured underneath. I do not need another contour shade. My bronzer will work just fine. And you guys can see me contemplating when I go in just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then blend a little bit. And then, yeah, just go back in and blend out that forehead contour. And you will see me awkwardly posing towards like the end. And I'm fixing my hair soon. I don't know what I was thinking I was going to do, but basically you guys can see how annoying my hair can be sometimes. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, stay safe, be healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys!